Goodbye, girls in the world. Eh? Dear customer, thank you for purchasing from Swimmer and Chocoholic all the time. Cute miscellaneous goods and staff gathered since establishment of the brand, and we have constantly made new ideas and have been making products. But this time it was decided to end both brands at the end of January 2018. Each directly operated store nationwide will be closed sequentially by the end of January 2018. It's Peachie! Today I'm going to be talking about a brand that a lot of kawaii lovers will know, especially kawaii lovers that have been to Japan and shopped there. They're called Swimmer, and they also have a sister shop which is kind of intermingled with them called Chocoholic, but they're the same company, Swimmer and Chocoholic. So yeah, unfortunately, a lot of fans of Swimmer will know. I'm sorry if you're a fan of Swimmer and you didn't know this, but they are closing down at the end of January next year, so that's in just over a month. And personally, I think this is a pretty big deal. So I'm going to be kind of talking about them today in this video, about why it's a big deal, in my opinion, and having a kind of a memoir to Swimmer now that they're closing down, even as we speak. Swimmer is really old. It's older than me. Swimmer has been around for 30 years. It was founded in the late 1980s, I'm assuming 1986 or 1987. In Japan, it's known as a Zaka shop, which means it sells daily goods. Swimmer has or had shops all around Japan, including the La Forêt in Tokyo. It specialised in selling things like bags, wallets, purses, and stuff, you know, like dusters, cleaners, face cloths, soap dishes, stuff like that. Super kawaii, very kish, shall we say. Everything was practical, but super adorable. Their items have always been ridiculously cute, very vibrant and colourful, and a lot of the stuff was made out of plastic. And on top of that, it was supposed to be very accessible, very cheap and affordable, ridiculously cheap. Like, I've seen stuff in shops here which are absolutely awful and awful quality, and they would cost more than what Swimmer was selling their stuff for. At one point, Swimmer's sister brand, Chocoholic, had its own patisserie cafe, selling little cakes and sweets and stuff, which were pretty much styled like the cute creatures and characters you'd see in the Swimmer merchandise. Swimmer was always listed in the top 10 shops you must go to when, you know, in Harajuku, those who want to go to, you know, Harajuku shopping, clothes, accessories and stuff. Swimmer was always on the list, always recommended. Everyone I know that's been to Japan, that's into kawaii stuff, they will tell me so much about Swimmer. They've always got something from Swimmer. They've got the adorable patterned bags from Swimmer that they're known for. Swimmer always had these amazing little patterned bags when you went shopping there. One of my friends came home with this amazing, beautifully patterned Swimmer suitcase. I think on the surface, Swimmer always seems like a regular kind of kawaii, cutesy, random, cheap stuff shop. It's only if you're really into kawaii stuff that you would know how specifically clever Swimmer stuff is. It's a very specific style. I really like the artists who are working for Swimmer. They're really genius. For example, I saw a video of some people at Swimmer and they found this little plushy pink elephant that was sitting in an ice cream cone. So I already got this cute image of like the elephant is the ice cream in this plastic ice cream cone. You know, it had a flat bottom so it would actually stand up. So like, what was the point of this, right? Well, actually, if you took the elephant out, you would find that it's a duster for cleaning your computer. And then once you're done, just to keep it neat and tidy and the dust out of the way, you put it back in the cone. That is genius. And Swimmer just did constant stuff like that. One thing I just couldn't stop comparing Swimmer to was Angelic Pretty. I felt like whenever Angelic Pretty released a really popular series or theme for the year, Swimmer would be quick to release something that obviously very much complemented Angelic Pretty's clothing coming out. For example, quite a few years ago, Angelic Pretty released a series called Honey Cake, which had pancakes on and a, you know, teddy bear shaped syrup bottles. And, you know, around the same time, Swimmer would release these kind of syrup shaped teddy bottles and things of various assortment. And so it really did feel like they knew what kawaii people were enjoying. If you shopped at Angelic Pretty, you then go to Swimmer and get the rest of the stuff to match your lifestyle, sort of thing. So yeah, obviously, Swimmer is very popular. It's beloved by a lot of people for a long time, 30 years. So it really was a big shock that swimmer was closing down. The online store is basically closing down now, or it will be any day now. It's closing this month, basically. That was the announcement. And all physical stores will be closed by the end of January, which is a real shame. Swimmer has been very open. They explained on their announcement post about the closing that their items were getting too expensive to manufacture and they didn't want to increase the prices because, as we know, Swimmer is known as meant to be a very cheap brand, affordable brand. I thought that was very noble of them, but most of us, including myself, we were just like, no, please just, we're fine to pay a little more. That wasn't acceptable, and they wanted to stick to their core values, which I think is noble, very noble, just annoying, but I do think there is more to it than that, so I will discuss that later in this video. This is kind of sad to say, but I actually never bought from Swimmer until they announced they were closing this June. My idea ever since I was a teenager was that I would just go to Japan and shop there. I've always wanted to. It was one of my dreams, one of the things I absolutely must do when I go to Japan. 10 years later, I still haven't been, and now the chance is gone. Nothing lasts forever, and it was definitely one of those moments where it just felt like a really big blow. I know it's literally just a shop and I'm very materialistic, but I have been in a little bit of denial. In my mind, Swimmer was never going to go away, so it's been really upsetting. I know, there's so many things I could be more upset about, but this was actually generally one of them. So yeah, when I saw the announcement in June that Swimmer was closing down, I realised if I wanted to have anything from Swimmer, I'd have to find a way to either order online through a shopping service or buy it from a third-party seller. This is because Swimmer and Chocoholic, they don't sell internationally on their online shop. You have to use a shopping service or something. They have no international sales. So I personally use lolitadesk.com. This isn't a sponsorship, by the way. This was the main place I found that was easy to grab Swimmer stuff. It is significantly elevated prices, but it was just for my ease of use because I wasn't ready to use a shopping service. I've got a big haul, but it wasn't all from one shop. It was gradually throughout the second half of the year. So I thought I'd show you what I got. Firstly, yeah, here is my Swimmer tote bag that I put Swimmer stuff inside. So one of my favourite things about Swimmer is they use these kind of, I don't know, 1950s greeting card style drawings of teddy bears and bunnies and stuff. They use that on a lot of their products, and this is in like my favourite colour, like bubblegum pink. I've been using this a lot actually. It's very sturdy. Some of the strings got pulled a little loose on that, but otherwise it's been completely sturdy. It's carried really heavy stuff in here. So I'll show you what's inside. Maybe put this right. There we go. Seriously, I got these clear files at one point. So if you didn't believe me when I said I swear they're doing stuff to like help Lolitas with their aesthetic, look at this. There's clearly a Lolita there. That's so cute. And then this is a cute bunny, again with like the balloons and stuff. If I was to put paper in here, it kind of stands out as its own see-through imagery. Next I got these two plastic storage boxes. I'm pretty sure you can use them for bento lunches as well, but they can be storage whatever you want. There's like kind of a retro 1950s card style again. A little bit fairy kay there. Cute and simplistic, even a bit childish, but I just really like designs. You can also like take out the plastic compartments there if you'd rather have just a full box. I don't know, depending on your bento lunch or something. So these were super cute. Nextly, there is this water bottle. It's got angelic bunnies on. Like, I think it was called like Holy Bunny water bottle or something. So let's joke this has holy water in it. I really love the color scheme and obviously bunnies. So I've been using this for going to class. Fantastic item. Next is this adorable pass case that looks like a Tamagotchi. Oh my goodness, it looks adorable, like some sort of little pocket game. A pass case is used for long-term train use. For example, in Japan, it's a Suica card. I think in London, Oyster cards work the same way. So as you're going along, you just scan them as you're going in. So it doesn't mean you have to insert a ticket or do anything fiddly with paying for your train. It's just all on this card. So you put it in this back pocket here, and you slide along. Unfortunately, all trains I've used don't require that kind of card, but I do basically attach this to my side or on a bag. When I'm taking a train, I keep the card at the back and I just pull it out and put it in the machine, and I find that's a lot more practical than having to ruffle around in my handbag and wallet in my bag to try and find my ticket. And it's also the right size to keep a Tamagotchi or some small pocket game in. Unfortunately, it won't fit even the smallest DS or Nintendo 3DS, I'm really sorry. That was a bit of a bum, but they did release ones that did. They did actually release like some proper rectangular ones that look like a Game Boy. Now inside this, I put two other swimmer things I got. Firstly, can you guess what this is? It's adorable, isn't it? It's a mirror on the back. Is that all it is? No? It's a comb! How cool is that? And on a similar theme here, also in this past case, was this like little apple shaped compact, and it's got two bunnies on it. They look so sweet and romantic. I couldn't help it because of the bunnies on it. They look so sweet. And I really like this apple design. Again, this has some like glitter in the plastic, but if you open it up, and it's of course a compact mirror with a compact comb with a little kind of apple stencil on as well, which is really, really cute. Why did I need two compact combs? Because they released a lot of these in different colours and prints. It was really hard to choose. I just thought, like, what was the point of me getting more than one? So it took me ages to pick my favourite. Probably the coolest thing. This magical girl heart compact were just clearly inspired by Sailor Moon, but look at this. This is adorable. It came in many colours, but of course I went for the pink one. And when you open it up, it's the mirror and the brush. Yay! There's the brush. So yeah, I feel like a magical girl using this. Ooh. There is this, which is this ice cream plastic cone. It's two-way colours, so it's pink on one side and see-through on the other. So basically you just take off the cone part here, and this opens up, and you can put whatever you want inside. It's some sort of kawaii but decorative storage method, which I thought was really cute. It's not particularly the most useful of their items, but I just really like the idea that you can display something in it that's just really, really cute and precious. There is this jewellery case. This is like so pretty. Again, don't you just immediately think of like an Angelic pretty print when you see this? And inside, when you open it, that's got a place to store your jewellery. I've got some of my Keep and Kill in there because I thought it perfectly suited the style of the box. Another jewellery related thing I got from Swimmer was this heart-shaped ring case. These are really popular. I keep seeing these on Instagram, like people using them in their pictures for stuff, and I'm so glad I've got one. I think Swimmer have been re-releasing these quite a few years, and I managed to get one in my favourite colour, baby pink. It's so cute. Speaking of ring cases, I'm actually wearing a Swimmer ring today on my finger. On my finger, of course it's going to be on my finger, it's a ring. But yeah, it's a lovely, beautiful unicorn. It says Dream on it, it's extra adorable. It has all these cute little details, and goodness knows this is probably way cheaper than any of the shop would be selling something like this for. It's just lovely, and it goes with a lot of Angelic Pretty and maybe the Stars and Bright stuff. In fact, it would even go with Twinkle Journey from Metamorphose. Not much left to show now. These, I have to admit, were my least practical purchase from Swimmer. They're useful. They are practical, but like for me personally, I'm not sure how I would use them. They're basically tiny little heart compacts that individually open up, like this. Originally they were kind of sold as things to put in your bento lunchbox, for example, those ones I showed earlier, and you would put sauces in or some sort of dipping thing. So when you're having lunch, you've got this little compartment, let you know, make sure it doesn't spill everywhere during transit. Then when you sit to have your lunch, you can open it up, and you know, it's just a cute way to decorate your lunch bin. It's so adorable. Again, don't you immediately think of like some sort of sweet Lolita print on these? This one I had to be careful with in here because it's a bit fragile. Swimmer has been making these for years, these beautiful animal themed combs. This was one of the things I always wanted from Swimmer ever since I was a teenager. They've been making them for a long time. And I even got one in pretty much my favourite colour scheme, so I was super lucky. So yeah, it's just an adorable little bunny comb. They're just really, really sweet. And yep, I used them for my fringe. This was definitely one of the most iconic things from Swimmer in my opinion. And lastly, at the bottom of my Swimmer bag is this bunny watch. Oh no, I've been filming for a long time. It took me a while to set up. This is my bunny watch. I wear it so much. It's just a tiny little, I would say definitely cheapy bunny theme watch from Swimmer, but again, just perfect colour scheme, perfect print with that little bunny on. It's my lovely bunny watch. I'm actually really happy with what I managed to get from Swimmer before it shut down. There were some things that I really definitely wanted to have, such as that bunny comb. The only thing I'm sad that I probably won't be able to get is one of their crazy clocks. Now, Swimmer have been producing clocks this year and I could have got one, but they just weren't quite like their older style clocks, which were just super OTT, super ridiculous. They were amazing. And on that note, some of the last things they've been producing before they closed down are these adorable Ita bags in various colours, kind of like a lace trim style pattern in a cartoony way, and also they released a bunch of magical girl themed items, for example like this one that I showed you earlier, this brush, but they had a lot of magical girl themed stuff there. Isn't that just awesome? They know what they're making, but again they're shutting down. So actually that is what I would like to talk about lastly on this video. It's time for Peachie conjecture time! That means I'm going to make a lot of assumptions about why Swimmer may have closed down, some guesses and stuff with absolutely no evidence pretty much. I think that Swimmer may not have been doing well for a while. So the colourful Harajuku style has not been popular, like the cool thing to do with Japanese teens, adults, etc. for a really long time. It definitely established itself as a style that we could all wear and inspired a lot of people internationally, but it's not the cool current thing anymore in Japan. So because less masses are joining in with that style, problem was Swimmer hasn't changed its style since then. Swimmer is always cute and colourful, but that's all they sell, only cute and colourful stuff. I'm obviously not a businesswoman, but I just know that must be bad business practice. A lot of kawaii brands have thrived for decades, such as Angelic Pretty again, because they know to adapt. Angelic Pretty still sticks to its core concept of adorable, lovely, frilly, Lolita style things. A lot of it is very cutesy and colourful and would fit Sweet Lolita, but as we know, Sweet Lolita and OTT stuff that Angelic Pretty got really popular for is not the main Lolita trend anymore. Angelic Pretty has adapted and become a lot more classical in its latest clothing releases. On the side, it still sells some of its original kind of more sweet kawaii stuff, but the big stuff they sell and big up and sell, you know, is the classic stuff, and it's working. There's also Daiso and Don Quixote, which are also very big daily goods shops that sell very cheap, affordable, and often very cute items. Daiso is known as a 100 yen shop, or 108 yen if you include tax, meaning everything is about $1 or about 70 pence. Both of these shops aren't dedicated to just kawaii stuff like Swimmer, and a lot of it isn't very colourful or cute, but they do sell a lot of very cheap, colourful, cute things. And even, you know, obviously 108 yen is still cheaper than Swimmer's cheap prices. I do wonder if, because Daiso and Don Quixote are significantly larger kind of shops, like department shops, compared to Swimmer, which tends to be a kind of a small general store, I wonder if more people would just moving to and buying from those shops slightly instead of Swimmer. And even though Swimmer and Daiso and Don Quixote have all been around for a really long time, now that more tourists are coming and not as such participating in kawaii stuff, and the trends died down with regular Japanese people, that might be a sign, another reason why people weren't going to Swimmer but going to Daiso and Don Quixote instead. And lastly, for Peachie conjecture time, this is a big one. I think this is probably, out of all the things I said, the most likely to be a cause of the issue with Swimmer. Swimmer, this brand that has been around for 30 years, has or had branches all around Japan, has never sold internationally from their website. There's no way to directly buy from Swimmer if you don't live in Japan. I think at most you can buy from China and that's it. So for example, I had to buy from Lolita Desk, a third-party seller. Other people use shopping services that are people in Japan that buy the items for you and then post them to you. Because Swimmer just doesn't have an option for you to just go to the website, add stuff to cart and ship over here to, like, you know, the West. It's been years since so many kawaii brands have opened up sales to international customers. Why hasn't Swimmer? Especially because Swimmer's so affordable and a lot of people in the West don't like to pay a ridiculous amount for cute stuff. They want to participate in the culture and they want genuine original Japanese designer items, but they want to be able to afford it. Swimmer would have been perfect and they never did, and I have no idea why. All this time I think they've been missing a ton of profit from that, and it is such a shame. If Swimmer had been selling internationally for a while, I don't think they would be going under like they are now. I don't think they would be closing down. That's my biggest conjecture of the day. But yeah, it's a sad reality. Swimmer and its sister shop, Chocoholic, are closing down. It's sad. I do think honestly it's a great loss of creativity. It was a very inventive brand. Like, it was cute, practical, affordable, and often genius. So Swimmer, I'm sure we'll all miss you, and I'm just sorry I never got to go to your store. I'm still in denial about that. You know, never say never, but for now I think we should just appreciate it while we still can. You can still use the shopping service, I'm pretty sure, to get stuff from Swimmer. You could also, like me, buy from the Later Desk to get Swimmer items. I checked, they're still selling them. So you have basically until the end of January. Why don't you enjoy some of Swimmer's last items, because they're going, they'll be gone. So enjoy them while you can, guys. If you liked Swimmer, or if you heard of Swimmer and you didn't know that was happening, go, go, go! Sorry this was a bit sad today, guys, but I hope you liked all the cute stuff I could show you anyway, and maybe it inspired you a little. But yeah, until next time, guys, bye bye!